Hey everybody. So here I am again. You know what I wanted to talk about today is how we perceive the world differently. How I perceive and my own experience and observation and through the years of research and reading and studying myself and in others, observation, self-reflection, being honest with myself, you know, and reading about it, but then seeing it actually in my own life, truthfully, honestly looking at myself help me see it in people close to me. You know how interesting it is. I didn't even know that, actually emotionally most of us are at a really young age. The emotional intelligence of everybody is really at a young age, and it's not something to be ashamed or feel like we're not good enough or not smart enough. It's just, whatever we experienced in life at an early age somehow got us to stay there emotionally until that emotion is released and worked through. And a lot of us, most of us, don't really have the resources and the capacity, or haven't really worked on it to actually work through those emotions and obtain that emotional maturity that we all need, right? I mean, God, we see it in politicians. I mean, politicians, do they really look like, they look like little children that want to get back at the other one for insulting them? Is that really grown up, emotionally mature? But anyways, so, I realized through a lot of work in introspection that I was probably at the age 6, and everything I perceive the world, how things are, it's like that little child that was hurt and wanted to be safe but didn't find safety, and trying to remain in that safety of home or to protect myself, and going through life in that way. I mean, at this age now, it's kind of unsettling. And once I saw it in myself, once I noticed it in myself, I noticed it in other people, and it's so much easier to spot this in other people. I mean, I have a friend who, I mean, she is an accomplished, a mother of 2, and a business owner, and a really, really courageous person, and really a go-getter and successful. I mean, I admire her. But the thing is, I hadn't seen her in so many years. When I saw her again, and I saw the emotional part of her, what struck me was I saw the little kid in her that still felt, that needed that love that she didn't receive as a child, that love and attention from a mother or a father that she didn't receive. And she was reacting to life, into things that were happening in that way, in relationships mostly, in that way, still needing that attention that she never received. And it was so painful. I mean, it's still so painful for her to live that, and she's suffering, and it's painful because it's still that kid, that inner child in her did not actually resolve that, and it's still alive. It's still there, wanting to get that love that is grown-ups now. We have the responsibility to give it to ourselves. Everything we need to give it to ourselves. So pretty much, every time you get triggered, you get mad, you get criticized yourself. I get criticized. I criticize myself so much, and why did you do this, and how could you do this, and not giving myself the nurturing acceptance and unconditional acceptance that I actually need. I try to remind myself that I am the parent to myself now, and I need to give myself that which I didn't receive when I was a child. So that safety and security, I mean, you can't find it on the outside. You can't find it in somebody else, in a job, in the outside environments. I mean, I've searched for safety and security and stability in others, in a job, in a place, in a home, and realizing that actually when you give that to yourself, when you search inside, it's actually, and you feel safety and security inside yourself, and you give yourself every answer is within. So we all have that inner child within us that at some point, doesn't matter which age, there is some unmet need that it's still trying to find its release to be met somehow. And you're looking on the outside, desperately searching. That child inside of us is desperately searching for that which was lacking in childhood. And just I realized myself that everything, as cliche as it sounds, maybe you've heard it so many times, but everything is actually within. So anytime I get triggered, anytime I get mad at something, I ask myself, why am I getting mad? Why am I getting triggered? Why do I feel this way? And being truthful and honest, sometimes it's really painful. And sometimes, crying and just sitting with the emotions is the best thing that you can do. So that's about it. Be that loving parents, unconditionally accepting, without judgment, to yourself, to myself. That's what I try to be. Not successfully every time, but I'm getting there. So that's what I had to share today.